Full Figure TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yao Mean of Revolution. Justice for the paper raw boss, the humanitarian young Dolph. May his legendary name live forever. Trump sending troops to Memphis. They corrupt. Before we get into that, be sure to wipe your feet. That means hit the like button. You in the House of Revolution. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, y'all. Well, we got to look into the aftermath of the rigged case against young Dolph. A lot of things going on. Let's look at exactly who played a part in what. What is this foreman saying? I think he needs to be investigated. Let's get into the content.
This News Channel 3 at 4.
New on your news leader at 4, an exclusive sit-down interview. We're hearing from the foreman of the jury in the murder trial of Hernandez Govan last week. After 3 days of testimony and 3 hours of deliberations, the jury returned with a verdict. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Alex Coleman.
And I'm April Thompson. Govan was indicted in connection to the shooting death of Memphis rapper Young Dolph.
But the jury foreman is telling WREG's Jarita Patterson in this exclusive interview that a lack of evidence meant there was no other option but to acquit.
Under a cloak of secrecy and under the agreement their voice will be altered, the foreperson for the 12-member jury that acquitted Hernandez Govan is speaking exclusively to your news leaders.
We, the jury, find the defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty.
From the moment the 12 jurors plus 4 alternates were chosen.
These people made to put the community in danger. They are the reason crime is back on the rise again, releasing killers, backdoors like this back into the community. But this juror, by what he's saying, he need to be investigated because he tried to influence other people to think like him.
Who's that?
You put 16 strangers in a room and tell them, hey, you guys got to live together for a week.
And the seriousness of the situation was made all too clear, even at the hotel where they were kept secluded. No phones, no clock radios, no outside influences.
Instead of just taking the power cord, they tore the TVs off the wall.
As the trial stretched on, there was one witness for the state, Cornelius Smith, an admitted gunman who was most memorable, we were told, but not for the reason the prosecution was pinning its hopes on.
Statement after statement, he's rebutted by his own statement. So if this is the prosecution's star witness, that case should have never went to trial.
In the end, it's not what was said or even presented.
That the jury foreman talking like that. They need to investigate him. What the hell are you talking about? He was inconsistent, statement after statement. How the hell did you get a conviction on Justice Johnson? What is straight dropped on in prison if you can't believe a word that Cornelius Smith is saying? That's a big time lie by this foreman. He tried to convince other people on the jury to think like him. Then he got the audacity to say they didn't feel right about what they had to do. If you didn't feel right about saying this man was innocent, why you wouldn't feel right about saying he's innocent? Because you know goddamn well he guilty.
Left the jurors deciding Govan should be cleared of all charges.
It's not what was there, it's what wasn't there.
A final decision was then reached with a show of hands.
You have to understand that I don't think anybody, but I'll just go with myself, felt great about the verdict.
Before this,
now he needs to be investigated. What you mean you didn't feel great about the verdict, brother? You say you're not guilty. You didn't feel? I mean, he not guilty, right? No, we did not feel right saying that. Oh, you didn't feel right saying it. I thought he was innocent. They know they lying. Now they trying to cover their ass. Oh, we had to because the DA didn't present us with enough evidence to. Oh, boy, this is America. You ain't never need no evidence to convict nobody. Now they think you stupid. Now they think you don't know what really going on in that court system. When they sending your ass to prison morning, noon, and night, they don't have hardly no evidence. You're still going on else. Now all of a sudden, they just didn't give us enough. We really can't believe Cornelius. What? Man, what a joke.
Switch was flipped, signaling to the court after 3 hours of deliberation, the decision was made.
But we are not done yet. The juror we spoke with says this was emotional for those that had to make such a difficult decision. The foreperson's message to young Dolph's family, that story at 5 o'clock. Reporting for your news leader, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
And although Hernandez Govan was cleared, one of the state's star witnesses, Cornelius Smith, is still awaiting his sentencing hearing.
What a joke. And then these people got nerve to say, what the jurors have to say to the family. Tune in tonight. Oh, bitch, stop clout chasing. Anybody finna tune in later on to hear what the jury got to say? You know what they said? They said enough. No family want to hear nothing else from them goddamn corrupt individuals who done release that killer back into the street. But this type of corruption, and we're gonna pivot, but we're finna get right back into the young Dolph case. The humanitarian might his name live forever. See, this type of corruption, it's gonna happen. See, they fucked up now. We are Preeeee, long live Flipper. Salute to the revolutionaries in the building. Now, this is their worst nightmare for all those Boule members.
National Guard could be deployed in Tennessee to crack down on crime. During an interview with a conservative radio host, President Trump said he might consider taking action to address violence in Memphis.
Now Trump got to address, crime figures like Govan. Well, how did he slip through the cracks? Trump don't like that. Trump don't like the smell of people like that getting released back into the community to commit all the murders. Oh shit, Boule. You see what happened here? The Boule on the wrong side of what's going on all across the country. Now all of a sudden, because he knew this. Trump knew this shit was rigged.
State Capitol reporter Tori Gessner talked with Tennessee lawmakers on both sides of the aisle to hear their thoughts.
Now we don't want to hear all that crying.
For Republican Senator Brent Taylor, there's no bluffing about the crime in Bluff City.
The crime situation in Memphis is about as appealing as a lingerie department in a Goodwill store.
President Trump recently calling it the murder capital of America, promising conservative radio host Todd Starnes he'd put Memphis early on the list of cities where the feds could step in.
And I'm sure the people would love it.
Senator Taylor says he'd gladly accept the help, pointing to the impact the federal takeover has already had on D.C.
Whatever amount the locals have moved the meter in terms of reducing crime, it pales in comparison to what President Trump was able to do in 11 days. No murders in 11 days.
Now, nobody been talking about that. Hey, that's crazy. Did y'all know that in D.C. there hasn't been a murder in 11 days, bro? Salute, family. There hasn't been one murder in D.C. in 11 days. The Boule, they silent. The Boule, rights are being taken away. That ain't what the people who ain't been murdered is saying. I seen few black people rolling down the streets of D.C. say, "Ooh, they feel a little better." Now I know everything can go left. I know that. I know you can't trust the people. What I'm saying is the Boule been having a hellhole. Like I said before, the police died. They might whoop a couple of you across the head. The black face Ku Klux Klan, they getting you every day. You never get a day off with them. Now they mad because they like cockroaches. Oh man, the police outside. Oh bitch, we ain't got no warrants. They ain't looking for us. We finna go right where we need to go and look them right in the face. Boy, what you hiding for?
And so my constituents would welcome it.
Republican Representative Mark White is on the same page. He hopes for a more discreet takeover, unlike when the National Guard came to Memphis in 1968 after Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination.
We had tanks in the street and people in military uniforms. I think we could have a much lower key where
the Boule, see what happened? Boule, you killed Dr. King, then the federal troops had to come. Boule, you killed Dolph, the humanitarian. Now history repeating itself. The federal troops got to come again because you niggas, it's just that you're too wicked. You too goddamn wicked, and it just shown you wouldn't have let that corrupt ass criminal back onto the street and say you didn't have enough evidence. Okay, cool.
Where the could be back office administrative help that you would never even know. We don't have enough police officers in Memphis right now anyway, and so this would free them up to patrol the streets and be out on the streets. Where they can do administrative work and could be very low key.
But Democratic Representative Antonio Parkinson says none of that is necessary. According to the city of Memphis, murders are down 14% this year compared to last.
Those troops, number one, they're not.
That's a lot. See, they cooking the books, brother. Cooking the books ain't working till my crime been down. We see what's going on in Memphis. Carjackers at all-time high. Serial killers running around there, shooting on every motherfucking corner. People came and go to the gas store, get no gas. What are you talking about? When you see this is already proven the same shit they try to pull in D.C. We don't want to hear that crime been down shit. They cooked the books. They cooked the fucking books. I tell you who know the crime not down. The community who has been living in those fucking hellholes. No crime ain't been no fucking down. That's a Democratic and a Boule lie. It's been a hell for regular goddamn black people. Our crime been down. I like hell it's been down. The hell they think they fooling.
Police. They're not police officers. They are our National Guard is used for especially times of emergency more than anything, and that's what their use is.
Get your ass off the news. What happened to young Dolph, bootlicking shoe shine? The hell all of the brothers and sisters dying every day in Memphis. You bootleg house nigga. The hell wrong with you? All that crime going on in Memphis. You talking, oh, you don't need federal troops. Like the innocent people who just want to go work. They just want to go work, go home, want to go to the park. Guess what? Kids can go to the park. Ain't gonna be no parties getting pushed. I don't give a fuck how the traffickers feel. That ain't our business. They gotta find another motherfucking way. They're not our business. Regular people, they don't give a shit about none of that. Y'all been giving them hell every day. Man, your civil rights. The blackface Ku Klux Klan ain't give a damn about no civil rights in the community. They ain't care about nobody's rights. Now the roaches got to run. They send this type of roach on TV to say, oh, this is Trump getting too heavy-handed. So is the blackface Ku Klux Klan, nigga. The people don't have an option, bro.
In wartime. And we're not in war, and we're definitely not at war with each other.
Parkinson believes local and state efforts, like his bill cracking down on nuisance businesses, which passed earlier this year, are putting Memphis on the right track. But Republicans argue more needs to be done, or Bluff City could put the entire state behind.
Tennessee won't be successful if this most famous city is continuing to slide into chaos. And I think all of this effort we're putting forward to make Memphis matter, I think will stop that slide into chaos. And Memphis could be the next it city.
Reporting in Nashville, I'm Tori Gessner.
We did ask Governor Lee's office for comment.
Calmer. Y'all ass didn't get no justice for young Dolph. Now y'all bully asses in trouble. Now you're gonna lose your authority in that fucking city. And we ain't gonna march and we shall overcome my ass. No, y'all bully ass can't control these crime-ridden cities. Nigga got time talking about crime is down. Oh, that's a fucking finesse. All them damn funerals, all that drilling. How the fuck crime down? We go buy them records. Crime is at an all-time high. What the hell are you talking about?
From WREG in Memphis, this is News Channel 3 at 4.
Topping your news leader first at 4. Could the National Guard be coming to Memphis? That is the big question tonight after President Trump said he supports the idea and believes it would benefit the city. Thank you for joining us. I'm April Thompson.
I'm Alec.
I'm just so glad I'm not a criminal. When they say the National Guard is, hey, bro, I don't lose no sleep. I don't lose no sleep. These bitches, we've been telling these people get ready for revolution. Now people who never gave a shit, when we've been talking about white supremacy, people ain't gave a shit. Now all of a sudden they want us to join hands with them and fight back. Fight back for what? What the hell are y'all talking about? We already on the front line. We already there. Y'all fucking criminals can't do criminalistic shit. We don't care about that, bro. Leave that, put that to the side. We don't give a shit because your criminal empire is crumbling by the day. The money low. The U.S. also pressing the cartels. I know it's bad for drug expiring, want to be block kingpins right now. So what? Y'all ass gonna get a trade. This is castor oil. I know it tastes bad, but it's gonna be good for your black ass. You might live longer.
Alex Coleman, WREG's Raven Copeland has reaction from residents in Orange Mound.
The crime is in Memphis. It's bad, honey. It's not going down. It's going up. I'm bringing the troops here. Ain't gonna do nothing but make it more bad, more wild.
See, she told have troops. You heard it? Crime is not down. Bootlicking Boule, city official who said that lie. She said it's going up. But she's saying, but bringing the police, yeah, because, girl, you thinking they're going to pull you over for riding around smoking weed or something? No, they ain't worried about that, girl. Don't worry about that. You probably your baby that over there selling them packs, but he need to get a trade. That's the only reason. These people is under pressure every day by these criminals. And then they like, we still don't want to see the troops. What the fuck? What are you doing? What do you think the criminals, what do you think these troops finna do to you, regular civilians in these cities? This is true. Don't let the people fool y'all, bro. Do not let the corrupt ass politicians who won't be able to run criminal empires in these black cities, they mad as fuck, fool y'all into believing you're one step away from slavery. That these federal troops will come to every city, beat you, whoop you, hog tie you. Man, come on, man. Stop all that noise. Y'all not scare black people half to death.
Mixed reaction from Memphians on whether the National Guard is the answer for stopping crime in the city they call home. As Memphis police report a decrease in violent crime, the community's perception often differs.
We're gonna stop at all the red lights, use our blinker signals, all that type of shit, bro. We ain't got to pay our traffic tickets. We ain't got no warrants. We ain't tripping. I mean, all of the real revolutionaries, they might come for us any day. We're not worried about that. But just seeing them on the streets, I swear to God on my T-Lady, I feel better for the people who not going to have to die. Because guess what? Nobody's in D.C. 11 days. People, these niggas scared to do drive-bys. Bitch, good. They can't ride on their enemies. So what? They can't go spin. Use a hoe. I thought you ain't give a fuck. Thought y'all didn't care. See, all of a sudden these niggas kill. All of a sudden they know what's right from wrong. I thought what? You mean to tell me there is somebody in this world that can get you niggas to act right? Oh shit, we want more of this for your ass.
I feel like it's real bad. And look like the people controlling, instead of the police, the people controlling Memphis.
The topic of crime has caught the attention of President Trump, who recently said in a radio interview that he would put Memphis early on the list of cities for feds to come to in an effort to reduce crime. State Senator Brent Taylor says if it happened, it may not come with the show of force that everyone is expecting.
I think, though, that if the National Guard were to come, I think it might take a different form than what you're...
Y'all want to release killers like go back to the streets? Good. Okay, good. You need city officials. Y'all want to play that type of game? Well, good. The people need protected from killers like that.
Yeah, you might think of Humvees rolling down Poplar Avenue.
He says in Washington, D.C., there has not been a murder in 12 days since the federal troops were deployed. Meanwhile, here in Memphis, there have been 2 murders in the past week. WREG spoke to Orange Mound residents who say the National Guard could help make the city safer and reduce crime. However, some Memphians disagree.
That's not going to help. That's going to make it worse, baby. That's only going to make it worse. If Trump wants to do something, come here yourself and try to do something.
Reporting for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG News Channel 3.
Tell that to the mothers who not going to have to cry because their babies is all right. Tell that to the people who can actually go to the gas station. I tell you what, they pumping gas. They ain't got to look over they shoulder. None of that shit right now, man. You know? All right, so basically, now, let's look at this. Salute to this brother here. Because it's a reason why they let that young man pull that move that he pulled. Mr. Govan. Salute to his brother Brian Blake, because he exposed the whole thing, and everybody needs to see this. That profit agreement that man signed was the beginning.
The news that Hernandez Govan, the man accused of masterminding or helping to mastermind the murder of young Dolph, was acquitted, has been shaking the internet up. I mean, everywhere you look, people talking about this. A lot of people are upset about the fact that he's being paid for interviews and booked. A lot of people are upset about the coverage that he's getting. A lot of people are upset that people are not continuing to accuse him of this because he was found not guilty. It's just creating a lot of commotion. Today, I decided to bring y'all some content related to this, but it's going to be a little different from what you have been seeing. Today, we are going to look at Hernandez Govan's criminal history.
Salute to this brother.
There have been a lot of accusations about him being a federal informant or possibly being a federal informant. And there's also the issue that Justin Johnson, aka Straight Drop, the guy who was actually convicted of killing young Dolph and sentenced to life, there's the issue of his attorney stating that Hernandez Govan took a proffer deal during this case. And that's leading people to come to the conclusion that he was acquitted because he is a federal informant. So I felt like, you know, being that I have the knowledge that I have about the legal system and how things go, maybe I could attempt to explain this to people and break this down. And also, again, this gives us an opportunity to look at Govan's history and see if we can determine things based off of that. So we're going to do a little rundown real quick. Y'all know how I do, man. I don't waste no time. Let's get right to it. On October 17th of 2003, Hernandez Govan was charged with unlawfully committing the offense of possession of a controlled substance and driving without a license. The officer who completed the affidavit stated that officers were called to a location about drug activity and they encountered the defendant, Hernandez Govan, who was observed in the driver's seat of a 2004 Jeep. This vehicle still had the engine running. The defendant gave officers identification, then proceeded to leave the vicinity of questioning. Officers smelled a fair odor of marijuana on the defendant's person. Officers proceeded to catch up with the defendant, and upon encountering him, for officer safety, they patted him down. Once they patted him down, they discovered a small pouch of drugs containing marijuana. While out on bail from those charges, less than 30 days later, he would be arrested again and charged with possession of a controlled substance with the intention to manufacture, deliver, or sell, bartering, giving away, or obtaining legend drugs. According to the officer who wrote the affidavit, the defendant and his co-defendants were found in front of an address in a 99 Dodge Intrepid. When the arresting officer put the spotlight on the suspect vehicle, he noticed the defendant and co-defendants all started putting unknown items under the seats of the vehicle. The officer advised all defendants to place their hands on the roof of the vehicle. The defendant Walker and Hill complied. Defendant Govan exited the vehicle and fled the scene. Defendant Walker and Hill were detained as the arresting officer looked through the window of the suspect vehicle and observed several assorted prescription drugs on the front passenger floorboard where defendant Walker was sitting. There was a pint-sized bottle of an unknown prescription syrup on the driver's side front floorboard where the defendant Govan was sitting. There was a large clear plastic bag containing 41.9 grams of marijuana on the rear left passenger where defendant Hill was sitting. Defendant Govan was found 2 streets from where he fled. The prescription drugs and marijuana were tagged in property and evidence. And as we see, these are 2 separate instances, 2 separate drug-related charges. And though he would plead out to lesser charges, both of those incidents led to convictions. Now, let's fast forward to 2006. On October 27th of 2006, an officer appeared in front of the court, filing an affidavit charging Hernandez Govan with possession of a controlled substance with intent to manufacture, deliver, or sell, driving with a suspended license, and violation of vehicle registration law. According to the arresting officer, he was doing regular patrol when he observed the defendant in a 2000 Pontiac Grand Prix with no tags traveling westbound. The arresting officer stopped the vehicle, asked the defendant for his driver's license, which he did not have on his person. The arresting officer smelled a strong odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. The arresting officer patted the defendant down for officer safety and felt a bulge in his right front pocket. The arresting officer placed the defendant under arrest and then retrieved a clear plastic bag with 49 pills, green in color, that tested positive for Lortab and were tagged in the property room at 201 Poplar. The arresting officer checked the defendant through Station B, who advised that his driver's license was suspended. The defendant also had $1,171 that was tagged in the property room. The defendant was transported to 201 Poplar and his vehicle was towed. Just a few months after that, Hernandez Govan will find himself in court again after being arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to manufacture, deliver, or sell for possessing hydrocodone. According to the affidavit, detectives received info from a confidential informant that Quick, later found to be Hernandez Govan, was selling hydrocodone at the Circle K at Quince and Kirby. Several recorded calls were made between the CI and Govan. Detectives set up the Circle K and observed the CI to make a hand-to-hand transaction with Govan. Detectives approached Govan and identified themselves. Govan refused detectives' orders and ran eastbound on Quince. Detectives took Govan into custody after a short foot pursuit. Detectives recovered $100 cash and 50 hydrocodone. The hydrocodone were positively identified through the PDR. All evidence was tagged at MPD property room. Govan was later transported to the med and released by a doctor. He was charged with evading arrest as well. Govan would then be arrested again in April of 2012 and charged with convicted felon in possession of a handgun, possession of a controlled substance, to wit hydrocodone, and possession of a controlled substance, to wit marijuana. According to that affidavit, on April 8th, 2012 at 1:15, Officer C. Knight and Officer C. Moffitt were on routine patrol in the parking lot behind the businesses at 380 Beale Street, checking the parking lot for vehicle prowlers due to recent car burglaries. Officers observed 4 black males sitting in a white 4-door 2012 Chevrolet with the doors open to the vehicle. As Officer C. Knight and Officer C. Moffitt approached the vehicle, officers could smell a very strong odor of raw marijuana coming from inside of the vehicle. Officer C. Moffitt observed 5 marijuana blunts sitting on top of the center console in between the driver, defendant Hernandez Govan, and passenger, defendant Steve Cooper. Officer C. Knight approached the vehicle from the driver's side and observed defendant Hernandez Govan stuffing a clear plastic baggie containing what appeared to be a green leafy substance. Defendant Hernandez Govan was asked to step out of the car for officer safety and conducted a pat down for weapons, at which time defendant Hernandez Govan advised officers he had a small bag of weed in his left front pocket. Officer C. Knight removed the clear plastic baggie containing what appeared to be marijuana and also contained 9 hydrocodone pills, white in color, labeled Watson 503, which is listed as a Schedule II drug. Officers placed defendant Hernandez Govan into custody. Officers conducted an inventory of the vehicle, and Officer C. Knight located a loaded Smith & Wesson 9mm loaded with 16 rounds and one in the chamber located on the front driver's seat sitting next to the center console where defendant Hernandez Govan was sitting. Defendant Hernandez Govan was convicted of a convicted felon in possession of a handgun on April 4th, 2008, and was sentenced to 1 year in Judge Higgs' court. Defendant Hernandez Govan was arrested and transported to Felony Response Office. Defendant Hernandez Govan was transported to jail. The firearm serial number was checked on Station B, which showed to be taken in an auto burglary report. The 9 hydrocodone pills and marijuana for defendant Hernandez Govan was tagged at property and evidence and tested positive for the THC, weighing 9.12 grams. Now, this case would eventually go fed, and we're going to get to that part. But I wanted to highlight that throughout these other cases that I have named, there's also the gun charge from 2008. I didn't put that in here because I wasn't able to get the paperwork and actually break down what happened. But as you see, this case mentions it. So we got about 3 or 4 drug cases and 2 gun cases between 2003 and 2012. But this would not be the end. Hernandez Govan was arrested again just a few months after this on October 21st of 2012, and he was charged with aggravated assault and reckless endangerment. According to the affidavit, on October 21st, 2012, at 1:30 p.m., Lieutenant P. Morton was on routine patrol southbound Critter Street when he heard several gunshots. Lieutenant Morton then observed the 2 defendants running southbound on Critter and turning back and firing shots at the victim standing on the east side of Critter, with 1 round striking the front door at a residence. The defendants then fled on foot as Lieutenant Morton pursued them. Defendant Hernandez Govan was located at a residence. Defendant Michael Wilson was located behind a shed at another residence. A Tech 9 firearm, Intratec 9mm model AB-10 was located between the chain fence and the wood fence at the residence where defendant Hernandez Govan was found and tagged at 201 Poplar Property Evidence Room. Victim Cordero Avant advised officers that he was walking south on Critter when he saw the defendants get out of a gold car and start shooting at him and victim Darian Hines. Victim Cordero Avant advised that he thought he was just caught in between the defendants and victim Darian Hines and ran to get away from the shots fired. The owner of the home that was hit is a lady who was born in 1940. I won't say her name, but he was charged with felony assault. The felony assault unit was notified and advised to straight charge the defendants. The defendants are relatives to a victim who was killed on 10/20/2012, and they believed victim Darian Hines to be the person responsible for the death. The defendants were taken into custody and transported to 201 Poplar. Now, this particular situation leaves a lot of questions to be answered. One of which is, how did the police know that Govan and this other guy were shooting at this Darian Mitchell guy because they believed that he killed somebody? Did somebody blurt out at the scene, he killed my people? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did that go? I also want to point out that this is now his third firearms charge. So now we have about 4 or 5 drug-related offenses and 3 weapons charges, 2 of which are active at the same time within months of each other. So as I said earlier, the feds would swoop in and charge him for the April case, the possession of a gun while he had the weed, and he would plead guilty to possession of a firearm while drug trafficking. The crazy part about this is he was only sentenced to 40 months. So think about this: 5 different drug cases, 3 different firearm charges between 2008 and 2012. 2 of those charges in the same year. And he was only sentenced to 40 months in the feds. Now, a lot of people who are familiar with the federal process as far as criminal history points, the point system, and criminal history categories are amazed that he only got 40 months for these. And these are just the major charges that I mentioned to y'all. As y'all see, I left out the 08 gun charge, and he got about 47 different cases on his docket. So a lot of people are amazed that he only got 40 months. And they speculating that he's some type of informant or snitch or something. And that's supported by the fact that if you look at his federal docket, everything is sealed. Everything is sealed. The plea agreement paperwork is sealed. All of the motions, everything is sealed. You can only see the basic stuff. He filed a motion. You can see the order for the motion. You can see setting letters, stuff like that. It lets you see his judgment, but even the judgment is redacted. If you look on the docket, it'll say judgment, and then it'll say redacted judgment. So that's causing a lot of people who are just familiar with the system to say, man, dude is a snitch. He's a confidential informant. There's no reason for that paperwork to be sealed up. That leads me to my next point in the next chapter of this story. A lot of people are supporting their argument that he is a confidential informant with the information that Straight Drop, Justin Johnson's attorney, revealed that Hernandez Govan proffered while this case was going on. So I'm going to explain to y'all the proffer situation, because just like you have guys who think they can go in the interrogation room and talk their way out of crimes or manipulate police officers, you have guys who go into proffer sessions and do the same thing. A proffer session is basically an interrogation, but you have made an agreement with the government prior to going into the session that you will tell them the truth, and that nothing that you say during this proffer session can be used against you. It's called use immunity. So it's not full, complete immunity, but it's saying that none of this information can be used against you. Now, they do have something called derivative use. And what this does is it allows them to take the information that you provide them during your proffer session and use it to further investigate other people and other circumstances surrounding this situation. Whatever information you give them, they can take it and use it to further their investigation. The downside to this is, once again, the proffer session does not give you full immunity. So if some information you provide leads to some other information that incriminates you, then they are able to come back and use that information against you, even though you were granted use immunity. So it's like if Hernandez Govan were to go in his proffer session and say, Big Jook did it, Straight Drop did it, Cornelius Smith did it, and I know about it because, you know, I was around when they were talking to each other. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but it came to me afterwards. Then they would be able to go and pick these guys up based on the information. If they turned around and gave information like Cornelius Smith did, then that information would be eligible for use against Hernandez Govan under the derivative use clause. So if Hernandez Govan said Cornelius Smith stole the car in his proffer session, they wouldn't be able to come in and say, we know Hernandez Govan is guilty because he knew that Cornelius Smith stole the car. That's indicative of him being complicit in this crime. However, if they go pick up Cornelius Smith and Cornelius Smith says, yeah, I went over there and stole the car, but Hernandez Govan told me where to go to get the car. He told me the reason that he needed the car, and he told me that he would pay me to go get the car. Then they can use that information against Hernandez Govan. So what I believe happened in this situation is that once these guys started getting rounded up, it turned into a free-for-all. Every man for themselves. Everybody started pointing fingers, telling on each other, blaming other people. Straight Drop and Cornelius were cooked from the beginning, from the second the police found out they were involved. Cornelius identified himself as a shooter, and Straight Drop basically paper trailed itself wearing the same clothes, going to different places, being seen in the same outfit that he did the drill in. So while Cornelius did testify against Straight Drop, there was a lot of other evidence to corroborate that Straight Drop was involved in this. On the flip side of that, you have Hernandez Govan. All they have are some phone calls, some text messages, and it really comes down to the word of Cornelius Smith as to whether Hernandez Govan was directly involved in the planning and plotting of the murder, or at least setting it up. That's a credibility issue. And when you put in front of the jury that Hernandez Govan proffered in this situation, meaning he talked to the police, now that creates a motive for Cornelius Smith to point the finger at Hernandez Govan. You know, like, okay, I'm an actual shooter, but I need somebody to blame so I can get off in this situation. Who better to blame than the guy that's went into a proffer session and blamed me? Now, people gonna say, how do you know he went in a proffer session and talked? All you have to do is listen to his attorney's argument. Anything that goes on the record during trial is pretty much the story. It's called a pleading, you know, a motion. Any of that stuff is called a pleading. So what you put on record, that's stated as a fact. Hernandez Govan's attorney went into the trial room and said, hey, my client didn't do anything. All he did was hook Big Jook up with these two guys. Once he hooked them up, Big Jook did all of the talking. Along with other things that incriminated Big Jook and basically pointed the finger at him and those guys. The reason I know that that's what was said during the proffer session is because he would not have been allowed to argue that if that was not what was said. The prosecution would have immediately popped up with the proffer session and said, hey, you trying to argue that your client wasn't even there when none of this took place. But in the proffer session, he said that he hooked Big Jook up with these guys. So the storyline that he's telling during trial is the version of events that Hernandez Govan provided during his proffer session. Now, I know some of y'all gonna ask, if he took a proffer session and he was a witness against these guys, why didn't the prosecution call him as a witness during Straight Drop's trial? Had they called him as a witness during the trial, they would have had to give him a deal. I don't believe that the prosecution believed his story for a second. I don't believe that they believed the information that was in his proffer session, but they had no way to prove that he was lying. So they agreed to the proffer session and gave him the use immunity just to get him to tell a story. That's my theory on that. They wanted a statement from him. They needed a statement from him, and they gave him immunity, use immunity. Basically, whatever you say cannot be used against you by us. But we can go to Cornelius Smith and tell him that you said this about him, and he can give us information that we can use against you. So I really feel like the state, they were really trying to convict this guy. They were trying to crush him. They tried to put him in a trick bag. And that's obvious from the fact that he was still taken to trial even after he proffered. Usually when guys go in here and proffer, they'll drop the charges, or, they'll offer them some type of plea deal or plea negotiation. He wasn't given that option. And that's usually how it goes for people that the government doesn't believe, or people who go into the proffer session and try to finesse the Fed. If you go in there and give them like some half answers, half truths, or they can see that you giving them a runaround just to try to see how much they know, then they ain't giving you no deal. They gonna take you to trial and they gonna try to put the hammer on you, even though they cannot prove that you are lying. Y'all got to keep that in mind. It was basically Cornelius's word against Govan's word. He admitted to the phone calls, he admitted to being there and all of that stuff, but he denied any involvement in the planning of the murder. They had no solid evidence against him aside from this other guy's testimony. And I think that Straight Drop's attorney made a mistake by putting the info in front of the jury that this guy proffered. I know what he was trying to do, basically trying to say, hey, this guy proffered, he's getting immunity from them, so he's going to go in here and say all of this stuff. But what he did was allow the jury to see that Hernandez Govan was cooperating in this case. So now you got this jury looking at this guy who's admitted that he's the shooter on the stand, incriminating somebody else. And the person that he's incriminating has already been identified as a cooperator, at least in the jury's eyes. We understand, people who have knowledge of the law understand that a proffer session doesn't necessarily mean that you snitched. But the jury, on the other hand, is looking at it like, okay, this guy went and gave them some information. I doubt that he would have done so if he was actually involved. I know it's crazy. Some people do that and they really be involved, but I believe that's how he was found not guilty, because the jury was under the impression that this guy told on these guys and now they trying to tell back on him in order to, get out of the situation. Or, they tried to throw somebody under the bus just to get out of the situation, which led to him proffering against them. Straight Drop, I don't believe, made a statement. I could be wrong about that. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really follow his trial that heavy. And I'm more of a paperwork type of guy. I don't like to sit there and watch 7 hours of video. I don't got that much time in my day, to be honest. But I will read the paperwork, and I'm pretty good at that, I believe. So this is the conclusion that I reached. Is Hernandez Govan a confidential informant? The paperwork is sealed, so I can't say that for certain. But I can say that sealed paperwork is not a good sign. Anytime you got 3 or 4 gun cases 3 or 4 or 5 drug cases, and then you get a gun protecting the drugs case, there's no reason for your paperwork to be sealed. And to get 40 months on top of that is crazy. But I didn't see, the federal confidential informant paperwork. Do I believe he snitched in this case? Of course. I believe he snitched on both of the shooters and Big Jook, because Big Jook is dead now. But I believe he snitched before Big Jook died. There's just the issue of whether or not the police believed that Big Jook was actually involved. And that's why his attorney made a great point in establishing that Big Jook was never questioned, because that destroyed the credibility of Cornelius Smith. It's like, okay, if y'all believe Cornelius Smith, then y'all believe that Hernandez Govan plotted this out with Big Jook. Why did y'all charge Hernandez Govan and never even go talk to Big Jook? That's a really, really good point. That's a really good question. And the jury, obviously, they looking at that like, wow, that doesn't make sense. If you believe part of the story, then why didn't you just at least investigate the other part of the story? So now you got them looking at this guy like, well, maybe he really wasn't involved, because if the police believe that, they would have talked to that other guy. And then these attorneys come in here and point out that he proffered against these guys, which gives the jury more reason to believe that they may be trying to throw this guy under the bus just to save their own skin. So that's how I think that he got off. That's my thing. I believe that the state was really trying to convict him. Like I said, they just didn't have much to work with. He outsmarted them to a degree, because he didn't do nothing. He didn't shoot nobody. All y'all got is some call logs with no proof of what was said during those calls. So if they had wiretaps, he might have been cooked. But just my word against this other guy who's a killer, who does drugs and all of this other stuff, I would have took it to trial too. At the end of the day, the case is done. I don't feel like it's fair to young Dolph's family for people to keep getting on here and, oh, they need to get street justice. They attempted to get the type of justice that they tried to get. And he was found not guilty, man. You got to leave it alone and move forward in life. Some people may feel a certain way, but a large amount of people who were just rooting for this guy to get convicted and who were pointing out evidence that basically made him look guilty are now amongst the people saying that Dolph's people should get street justice. So y'all went from wanting somebody to go to jail for committing a crime to now saying that somebody else should go commit a crime. And like I said, this is where the lines get blurred when it comes to justice, when it comes to being a civilian or being a street veteran. You have guys who have literally been on here advocating for this man to go to jail, now advocating for him to be killed in the street, which is a direct contradiction. And like I said, I don't think it's fair to Dolph's family. They need to be given an opportunity to rest. They done been through a couple of trials. They got a not guilty verdict in one of the situations. They may be unhappy with the verdict themselves. And now, instead of being able to just sit back and take everything in, they got everybody on the internet. Oh, they need to go kill somebody. They need to do this. They need to do that. Perpetuating the same cycle that they just wished prison on these guys for in the young Dolph situation. And a lot of people, you got to think about this. Okay, if these guys go get revenge for Dolph or whatever you want to call it, then who is going to come get revenge for the person that they did something to? And the cycle goes on and on. So now you taking Dolph's people from, advocating for justice to being out here in the streets committing crimes. And I get it. Some people are like, well, if the police won't do their job, then, but they did. They arrested him. They charged him. He went to trial. He was found not guilty. Of course, being found not guilty doesn't mean you innocent. I know people that were guilty and won that trial. Everybody does. At least almost everybody does. But that doesn't take away the fact that the justice system said he was not guilty, bro. So we got to, at some point, leave it where it is and, you know, allow those families to rest and deal with this situation how they want to deal with it. I just brought y'all this video because I felt like it was informative, not just with the legal aspects, but also as far as the paperwork and the little backstory on who Hernandez Govan actually is. A lot of people been painting him out to be like this demon. And even in the Young Dolph, in the Vlad TV interview, he said, yeah, we was just young. We was selling little petty weed, stuff like that. If you look at all of his charges, the man literally getting caught with petty weed. He ain't been caught with 2 ounces of weed yet. 40 grams, 3 grams, all of this little different. The laws in Tennessee is crazy, by the way. If you down there in Tennessee living, be careful. Because they ain't, man, controlled substance case for weed. But yeah, that's pretty much all he got. Petty weed cases. He got some gun cases. He got a aggravated assault for shooting. He was running away shooting, which looks even more crazy. You running from the direction of the person that you shooting at when you should be going towards them. But that's another thing. I ain't gonna dwell on that. Yeah. The justice system, man, I can't say they failed. I can say that they tried. And, you know, it just went his way. I believe strongly that his proffer session influenced the jury to believe that he was innocent because they thinking, man, okay, what more do you want from an innocent man? He comes in here, he professes his innocence, he proclaims his innocence, and he stands on it. He gets all the way to trial. He done told y'all everything that he know about the situation. His lawyer is up here pointing out everything that he told y'all that shows that somebody else put this money up. Somebody else approached these guys about doing this hit for them. Somebody else told him that they wanted him to put him in touch with some people. So unless they had Big Juke to prove that, you know, Hernandez Govan actually played a role, a serious role, an annoying role, because unknowingly hooking people up don't make you guilty. Then they kind of at a dead end with him. On the other side of that, they do have a case against Big Juke now. So just like I said, with that derivative use, now they can take all of the information that was gained from the proffer session with Big Juke and the information that his lawyer put on record at the trial, and they can go attempt to build another case. I wouldn't be surprised if the feds come back and give him some type of drug conspiracy charge or something along those lines, because there was a lot of talk about doing and selling drugs. And of course, you know, he gets his use immunity from his proffer session, but there is still the issue of the derivative use. Now you go and tell this information, and now these guys get on here and say, no, this is what happened. And maybe the feds learned something during this trial that they didn't already know. I ain't wishing it on them. I'm just saying this is how it goes. You know, the case is not over with. It's not done. He running around doing interviews. He probably should be keeping quiet for a little while. But it is what it is. On that note, I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope y'all enjoyed this.
The real story behind the music begins about 10 years ago, when Young Dolph was affiliated with a young street rapper called J Money. J Money would post pictures of Dolph visiting his hood and saying that Dolph always told him that he wanted to see him win and eat, along with posts calling Dolph's crew, Paper Route Empire, his family. J Money was part of a gang called True La Mafia, from the Orange Mound neighborhood in southeastern Memphis, which borders the Castilla Heights neighborhood where Young Dolph grew up. J Money was a respected member of the True La Mafia and was active in the streets from a young age. At just age 18, J Money was charged with the murder of another young man who was supposedly his good friend. But even that situation would seemingly not slow him down. And already later that year, J Money was again in trouble with the law, this time due to an aggravated assault charge. Aside from his presence in the streets, J Money was set to become a big name in the Memphis rap scene. He had a particularly close relationship with the Chicago drill legend Chief Keef and his Glow Gang group, with Chief Keef shouting out his True La Mafia shooters in Memphis on his track, Shooters, with the two appearing in pictures together on social media surrounded by Chief Keef's Glow Gang crew. Another Memphis rapper that blew up from the city, NLE Chopper, would also reminisce on J Money's relationship with Chief Keef.
He messed with Memphis heavy. He messed with a guy from Memphis. A lot of people probably don't know him, J Money Truly. J Money, he was, you know what I'm saying, a big idol in Memphis.
And Chief Keef himself would also reminisce on J Money's wild reputation in the streets.
Hey, though, I was on the phone with J Money one day, right? On FaceTime, his slow ass, for he outside the window on the E-way. I'll tell him for you fried. Y'all on the E-way. No. You was in the car with him? Sorry, y'all hoes, boy. Hold up.
The relationship between Chief Keef's Glow Gang and J Money's True La Mafia went deeper than the surface. In fact, at one point, J Money was even calling his set the Glow Gang Truler. J Money would also score an early feature with another legendary Memphis rapper by the name of Moneybagg Yo, as well as having also recorded music together with Young Dolph himself, and being seen behind the scenes with Dolph in the hood for the music video.
What you say?
But interestingly, J Money was also seemingly cool with the CMG side of the rap beef in Memphis too, apparently hanging around with people like Black Youngster far before the beef between Dolph and Yo Gotti's crew had truly erupted. J Money was one of those people with such a respected reputation in the streets that he could seemingly walk the line between both sides of a serious brewing beef. However, that notoriety in the streets would also make him a target of his ops. And sadly, in 2016, J Money would be shot dead in an apparent gang-related revenge killing. J Money was a high-ranking and respected member in True La Mafia, who had deep connections with many different gangs in Memphis. His murder would allegedly cause a major power vacuum within True La Mafia, leading to internal conflicts and eventually a full divide between two factions in the gang, with some of the original True La Mafia members breaking off to start their own set titled RR, meaning Rich and Ruthless, with many of these members allegedly also having ties to the Grape Street Crips. In fact, another legendary Memphis artist, Pooh Shiesty's cousin Big Scar, real name Alexander Woods, would be one of the former True La Mafia members who was also affiliated with the Grape Street Crips, and he would eventually leave the original True La Mafia to join RR. Things would further escalate between both camps when RR member BG, aka Baby Grape, was allegedly killed by 3 True La Mafia members, C-Mode, Zay, and Go Crazy. Go Crazy, real name Carlos Lacey, would eventually go down for this murder. The deceased man, BG, was actually a close friend of Big Scar, and this incident would allegedly be the catalyst sparking a war between both groups in the streets of Memphis. Shortly after, RR would retaliate, killing Zay, one of the original True La Mafia members suspected of being involved in a hit. Following this, True La Mafia and RR would go back and forth numerous times. C-Mode would return home from jail after a separate case, sending shots at RR in a song called Send a Hit, which made himself an even bigger target, with him even naming himself as the main op. But his run as a rapper would be short-lived, and he would eventually be charged with 7 counts of attempted murder after shooting up a house twice.
People at this home on Monarch put up this camera after someone shot at or near their home twice in the same week. Other people who live in this neighborhood say they feel like hostages in their own home because of the random gunfire.
That's one thing. We got the cameras and the good Lord to watch over, so.
This man who didn't want to be identified says last week someone shot at his home, shattering the glass in this door. His wife and 3 kids, ages 5 to 17, were inside.
Go back to bed, see what's going on, make sure the kids are all right, make sure everything's okay.
He says the same people returned a week later when his kids were alone. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Police came, they found like 5 shells over there inside the street. that time. And then the second time, it was shells everywhere.
Police say the victims were able to identify 19-year-old Byron Walker as the shooter. He's now facing 7 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
The young guy that got arrested, I don't know him. I heard of him, but I don't know him.
Police say the drive-by shootings are connected to the murder of a rival gang member, and Walker is a suspect in that case. Court records show Walker has been arrested 3 other times since October for armed robbery and the theft of vehicles and weapons. 2 of the cases, though, have been dismissed.
Give him a slap on the wrist and let him right back out.
He's hoping that doesn't happen this time and says something has to be done to stop the crime.
They need some wake-up calls. To tell you the truth, I think these young folks out here need some wake-up calls.
In Southeast Memphis, Melissa Moon, WREG, News Channel 3.
Meanwhile, D Money, the brother of J Money, would also be shot dead in May 2020, causing yet more friction between these warring groups. After D Money's murder, rumors would spread that he was allegedly killed by the artist named Big Unk, formerly known as Uncle Danny. Big Unk is allegedly affiliated with the Double R crew as well as Yo Gotti's CMG crew. He was a prominent street rapper from Memphis, known for showing off serious weapons in his music video. For example, seen here surrounded by goons and a whole lot of heavy weapons for the terrifying music video for a track called Play Dead, as well as a collaboration with Big Scar called Go Monkey, where him and his goons show off an arsenal of weapons looking like something straight out of Call of Duty. After D Money's death and the rumors that he was involved, Big Unk, real name Daniel Banks, would simply post 3 laughing emojis on his Facebook, as well as reposting a cryptic message about some things being better left unsaid, along with a shushing emoji. Later that year, CEO Jizzle, another allegedly Double R affiliated rapper, would rap on his song Rich and Ruthless. If you diss 23, swear to God, it's gonna be RIP. You ain't hear what happened to last dude, he got left on Trig Street. This was seemingly a diss aimed towards D Money, who had dissed a dead Double R member called 23 just a few months before he was killed. In fact, just a few days after dissing 23, D Money would post a text message on Facebook that he had apparently received, where someone seemingly threatens to kill D Money in his car, swearing to do it on Grape. Now, this is where Young Dolph enters the picture. Young Dolph would actually sign Double R members Big Unk to his Paper Route Empire label, despite his former connection to Yo Gotti's CMG. And in signing Big Unk, Young Dolph had inadvertently picked sides in this separate beef that had brewed between True La Mafia and Double R. And this would cause True La Mafia to side with Yo Gotti's CMG group and Big Unk's Double R crew to side with the Paper Route Empire of Young Dolph. Now, some fans would criticize Young Dolph at this time, since he had been so close to J Money back in the day, with many being confused as to why he had chosen to sign the man who had allegedly murdered his brother. But regardless of the reasons, apparently, when Young Dolph chose to sign Big Unk, he effectively made himself a prime target for True La Mafia, with Big Unk's street ties essentially bringing a younger generation of Memphis gang members to the forefront of this industry feud that had been going on between Young Dolph and Preeeee and Yo Gotti and his CMG label. And so, it would seemingly turn out that this street feud and its connections to the complicated web of relationships in the music industry would ultimately cost Young Dolph his life.
Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank did with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Take off. Yes, sir. The chain around his neck. Is that the Preeeee chain? Yes, sir. The one that we saw in the exhibit? Yes, sir. And there's Marcus behind him? Yes, sir. 30 seconds. Stop it there.
On November 17th, 2021, just before lunchtime, young Dolph would stop at Makita's Homemade Butter Cookies, a local shop he had supported in the past. 2 minutes later, a stolen white Mercedes pulled up outside. 2 men jumped out with rifles and sprayed bullets through the glass. In seconds, Dolph was gone. He was only 36 years old. Fans would see it as another senseless killing in hip-hop. But inside of a Memphis courtroom, testimony would paint the picture of a more sinister plan. It wasn't just about Dolph. It was part of a wider plot, one designed to wipe out nearly his entire label, Paper Route Empire. The night before the killing, young Dolph's murder was already set in motion. Cornelius Smith admitted that he and others would drive through Memphis in a stolen white Mercedes, looking not just for Dolph, but for any Preeeee artist. This wasn't chance, it was a hunt. And by that night, they came close. A call had come in. Dolph had been spotted at a gas station, but by the time they got there, he was gone. But instead of disappointment, Smith would tell the court they felt confident. Over the phone, the men would say to each other, "Tomorrow we'll get lucky." And then less than 24 hours later, young Dolph would be dead.
Young Dolph, but I ain't getting no his orders. I ain't know his orders. I get some Dolph though.
So, Govan was telling you about the turkey drive.
Right.
And
the gist.
I'm sorry.
He was telling me the gist.
Were y'all together when he was telling you?
Right. At his house.
At his house. Did he mention the family? Did he mention the money?
Well, we had already knew the prices on majority of their heads, basically. On everybody else doing the turkey drive, we had already knew the prices already.
Including Dolph.
Including Dolph.
And let's go to November the 16th of 2021. What were you and Justin doing that day?
Well, he had called me up, came to pick me up. We had went because they had a turkey drive in South Memphis. And me and him was out, we riding, trying to get one of the artists that day that was doing the drive down there. And as we was out there, I got out on foot. It was a lot of folks out there standing with guns with her. Justin was in the car. And he called me and told me that he had got a call that young Dolph was at a gas station up the street from where we was at. So I ran back to the truck and I jumped back in the truck. When we got to the gas station, Dolph was gone. So we rolled around for a minute, then he dropped me back off at the house. And I laid down that night. He was like, tomorrow we go back out and see what's up.
So on the 16th, at any point, did you think, okay, maybe we have a shot at getting Dolph?
Yeah, because we knew he was in town. We knew Dolph was in the city then, and we knew that tomorrow we were full-fledged then. We know we anything in shape right now. We gonna get somebody. We gonna strike. Tomorrow is our day. We gonna strike somebody. We're going to get lucky tomorrow.
Memphis rapper is giving back to the community he says made him who he is today. People stood in line outside Memphis Athletic Ministries ahead of young Dolph's appearance. About 200 teens and their families who are in mentoring programs with Memphis Athletic Ministries were given a free turkey. This is the 5th year the rapper has given back to people who live in the Castelia Heights area.
I just like doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like putting smiles on people's faces, you know what I mean? Like Thanksgiving for everybody, Christmas for the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like God been good to me and my team, you know what I'm saying? So like when I get out the road, when I come to Memphis, I like come to the hood, you know what I'm saying? Put a smile on people's faces, whether it's food for the kids, whether it's shoes, food for the kids, shoes for the kids, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? We just linked up, me, Hot 7.1, you know.
In court, prosecutors revealed something chilling, that Paper Route Empire was more than a successful independent label. It had become a price board. According to Cornelius Smith, there was a list of names, and every name had a number. This shit wasn't beef, it was business. And the figures were staggering. An alleged, at first, $1 million for Dolph that would drop to $500,000, then allegedly $250,000, and then bottom out at $100,000. And then another $50,000 for Key Glock, $50,000 for Paper Route Wu, $20,000 on Snoop Bands, and $5,000 on the head of Big Moochie Grape. In total, nearly $250,000 in bounties. More than enough money to tempt any South or North Memphis shooter, and just enough to put just about the entire Preeee label in the crosshairs.
Well, he told me that, you know, it was a little bounty on a couple paper out here.
Okay, I ain't understand nothing you said.
It was a hit on, it was a hit at the time on a couple guys in paper out here, on paper out here or whatever.
Okay, and what were some of those individuals' names, if you can recall?
Paper out Wu, Young Dog. I don't know all the names, because I ain't know who they were.
At what point did he mention the actual families, as you say?
One night leaving, getting some pills. He mentioned prices on, you know, who had 50 on his head. Young Dog had 100 on his head. Somebody had 5 on their head, 10 on their head. He mentioned the price too.
So it was almost like a catalog. This person costs this much. This person
telling us who had money on their head, who had the most money on their head,
and who had
Young Dog had the most money on his head.
And he had 100,000. And when you say his head,
I mean, if you kill Young Dog, you get 100,000 off.
The full details would come out in court that the bounty system wasn't an empty threat. It was already splitting Memphis streets into two. In the months, weeks, and days leading up to Young Dolph's murder, his artist was already being hunted. Testimony would also reveal that one of the first attempts to cash in came against Paper Route Wu. Armed men would pull up to his home, ready to collect the $50,000 reward on his head. The confrontation that followed showed just how real the list had become and how close Preeee came to losing more than just Dolph.
Well, one day, Mr. Govan had provided me with a gun, and he told us that Paper Route Wu was at home one day. So as we approached the house, with me, Bobby, Jessica, and another guy, I don't know the other guy's name, Bobby dropped me out. I get out walking on foot. Paper Route Wu coming out the house, and he had his gun in his hand at the time. And I was walking up the street, and me and him had a shootout or whatever. And the gun he provided me had jammed up. So, you know, I had to duck and Bob and weed, and Bobby had got to me, got in the car and went back to his house and reported what had happened to him. And he was glad I ain't get killed that day right there, but Bob was like, he wasn't messing with this stuff because he was believing what Justin them told him about we messed it up or whatever, and we didn't have our masks on and all that, so Bobby felt bad.
Reporters are still mourning his death, of course, but they say this is how they honor his memory.
Happy holiday!
Young Dolph did it for years.
5 years straight.
Now his supporters carry it on.
For us, it brings hope, though. It brings hope.
Giving away turkeys.
How you doing? Happy New
In the Castalia Heights neighborhood where the slain rapper grew up and frequently gave back.
He had a big heart for the community where he come from.
Fellow rapper Snoop Bands volunteering outside St. James Missionary Baptist Church wearing the chain Dolph gave him less than a year ago.
When he signed me, he gave it to me. Because this is what he would have wanted us to do, to keep it going. Live through, like it's living through us now. We got to keep it going.
And the community appreciates it.
Got mine here. We're going to put it in some grease. Let it boil on off and get right, then I invite y'all over.
Plenty of smiles, but also broken hearts this year after Dolph was shot and killed at Makita's Cookies on Airways. Police still looking for the shooters, releasing pictures of 2 suspects.
Right now is a hurting time, and man, we're gonna do the best we can.
Fighting tragedy with charity.
Man, just spread love everywhere, y'all.
His death wasn't in vain. You know, he's still giving hope in the community, even though he's gone. His name gonna live on through the legs of the people that he left memories in their hearts. We keep striving, amen, and keep pushing him on and keep his name lifted. It's gonna get better as the days go by. His memory will always be with us forever.
For young Dolph, the turkey drive was a tradition. Every year, he would return home to hand out food, a way of him giving back to Memphis. It was about family, community, and respect. But to his enemies, it was an opportunity. A predictable public gathering where Preeee artists would appear, surrounded by mothers and children, exposed. The testimony would make it clear these events were mapped out like appointments. It seemed as every giveaway could have been an opportunity. And with Dolph's annual Preeee Turkey Drive giveaway scheduled for November 18th, the very next day after he was gunned down, as wild as it sounds, in a crazy way, his murder may have prevented something even worse, a massacre at a community event that was meant to give back.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you reached the verdict?
Yes.
State of Tennessee versus Hernandez-Govan, count 1. We, the jury, found the defendant Hernandez-Govan not guilty in count 1 of the indictment. State of Tennessee versus Hernandez-Govan, count 2. We, the jury, found the defendant Hernandez-Govan not guilty in count 2 of the indictment. Ma'am?
Court's in session.
Ma'am? Ms. Johnson, is this your verdict? Is this your verdict? Yes. Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict? Yes. Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? Yes, Your Honor. Is this your verdict? Yes. Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? Is this your verdict? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to thank you for your service this week. You've done exactly what the court asked you to do, which was to sit, listen to all the proof, and come to a decision. You are excused. Thank you.
Jury is excused. Thank you.
Prosecutors would go on to name Hernandez-Govan as the mastermind, the man that would facilitate the hit. But the name of a person that would come up immediately following the arrest of the suspects in Dolph's murder, as well as repeatedly during court testimony, was Anthony Big Jook Mims, Yo Gotti's older brother. Jook was alleged to have financed the entire plot, but years after Dolph's death, in January of 2024, he would be murdered before he was ever implicated or could face trial, with his death forcing a lot of people to wonder what potential evidence may have died with him. And this is where more questions will come up, which would lead me to ask AI directly if Jook would have likely been indicted had he lived, with the answer being a nearly absolute yes, which led me to wonder, and now I want to ask y'all, do y'all think if investigators got access to Jook's phone, would they have found any text messages, emails, calls, or links tying the murder of young Dolph directly back to Yo Gotti himself? Or y'all feel like with Jook being dissed just as much as Yo Gotti, and probably even more depending on how you look at it, as young Dolph really only talked about sleeping with Yo Gotti's baby mama, he kind of went in on Jook? Or do y'all think Dolph's death was part of a bigger plan that Gotti had some participation in? Y'all get downstairs and y'all let me know that.
Since the day it happened, just about everyone had a pretty good idea who might have been behind it. It was well known that Yo Gotti was one of young Dolph's biggest rivals. While two men were initially arrested for the death of Dolph, Yo Gotti, who was believed to be the mastermind who wanted him dead, never faced any justice. Last year in November, the men who were suspected of killing young Dolph were finally convicted, with one of the killers, Cornelius Smith, openly admitting that the entire hit was set up by Yo Gotti's older brother Big Jook, revealing that a man by the name of Hernandez Guvan was hired by Big Jook to orchestrate the hit. Guvan was arrested and seemed to be the possible link between Yo Gotti and the death of young Dolph. That wasn't until just a few days ago the judge set him free and dropped all his charges, losing the only link that could have proved Yo Gotti was behind the hit. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about how Yo Gotti allegedly got away with murder. Let's get right into it. By now, everyone knows the tragic story of young Dolph's demise. He was gunned down in broad daylight in a Memphis cookie shop, targeted while in the city for a turkey giveaway. The killers knew he would be in town and hunted for him in the area until they spotted him due to his camel print car. They then followed them to the cookie shop where they ambushed him, letting off several shots, striking Dolph multiple times and taking his life. It appeared like a hit straight out of an action movie. Immediately after his death, rumors started to circulate about who might have been behind the hit, with most people pointing fingers at the obvious suspect, Yo Gotti. It was well known that Yo Gotti and Dolph were involved in a serious street beef, so Gotti was the first suspect in everyone's mind. It didn't take long for Dolph's family and fans to get the answers they were waiting for, though, as just a month later after Dolph's death, two men were arrested for his murder. The two men were Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith. Eventually, a third man, Hernandez Guvan, ended up being arrested for his involvement in the murder too. After these three men were arrested, we finally started getting the full story for what really happened to Dolph, proving that what everyone was thinking since the beginning was exactly what happened that day. Cornelius Smith, who was supposed to be one of the shooters, eventually took a plea deal. He agreed to testify and tell the prosecution everything to help himself out with his charges. He would go on to admit everything, giving a full confession on what happened to young Dolph. According to Cornelius Smith, Yo Gotti's brother, who was known by Big Jook, approached Hernandez Guvan, a local street guy, regarding his issues with young Dolph. Guvan was working with a local artist named Justin Johnson, otherwise known as Straight Drop, and he was trying to get a deal for him with CMG through Big Jook. When they met to talk about Straight Drop's music, Big Jook told Guvan about the bounty he was offering for the heads of any artist connected to Dolph's Paper Route Empire label, with Big Jook offering $100,000 for young Dolph's head. Because Druk knew Justin Johnson wanted to be a rapper, he promised Gavon a possible record deal if he managed to get the job done. So Hernandez Gavon approached his artist Justin Johnson and another local street guy, Cornelius Smith, and told them about what Big Druk said. This is when the two took on the job and started looking for young Dolph to take him out. They got their shot when Dolph came into town to host his turkey giveaway. Sadly, an act of charity ended up costing him his life, as the men stalked him and followed them to the cookie store where they ambushed him. Cornelius Smith, who was hired by Gavon, admitted all of this during the trial, going into detail on how it all happened.
Okay. So you said after you arrested, you came to your senses. Is that correct? Correct. And you say that Justin, is that the defendant in this case?
Yes, sir.
Had written you something that you called
a kite.
Okay. Without saying what was in that kite. That's a letter, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Without saying in that letter, after you received that letter, did you decide to tell the truth?
Right.
And what did you do once you decided to tell the truth?
I had spoke with my lawyer. Yeah, I've been caught and I got a conscience too. Now they don't know my sense. Yeah, I got a conscience. That's the day that we had saw young Dolph and Pully and Makitas.
All right, so whose car is that?
It's young Dolph's car.
All right, and you say we, who saw this car?
Me and Jessica.
Well, let's back up then and tell me how you know Justin.
Through Goban.
All right, and who is Goban?
Her name is Goban Quick. We know about Quick.
Okay, who's Quick?
Associate.
How is it that you met Justin through Quick?
Just, like, being around, basically. Being around.
Would Justin be around Quick too?
Yeah, he'd be around Quick.
Do you know why Justin would be around Quick?
They look at each other like brothers. Brothers and then just rap or whatever.
All right, you knew Justin to be a rapper?
Yeah.
Did you know his rap name?
Straight drop.
And did you know Quick to be involved in, I guess, the rap business or something?
He called himself.
Okay. What would he call himself as far as being in the business?
I guess a negotiator. I don't know.
A negotiator?
Okay.
Do you know whether or not he was trying to negotiate for a straight drop?
I guess trying to get him a deal.
Okay. Do you know who he was trying to get him a deal with?
Big Joke and him got him.
All right. You said Big Joke, is that correct?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the music label CMG?
Yeah.
Is that Big Joke's?
Yeah, Big Joke.
And his brother, right?
Yeah.
His brother's Gotti, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Before the record, can you point him out in the courtroom and tell me what he's wearing and stuff?
Yeah, the young brother over there with the button-down shirt, blue and white button-down shirt.
If the record should reflect that he's identified the defendant, Mr. Justin Johnson.
Let the record reflect that the witness is identified the defendant.
So how did you get to be with Justin Johnson this day on November 17th, 2021?
We knew that, he don't go Dolph from head or whatever, so.
Who had a hit on whose head?
Big Joke had a hit on Dolph head or whatnot, so.
How do you know that Big Joke had a hit on Dolph's head?
Quick had told me about it, Quick, and you know what I'm saying, just.
How much money was it supposed to be?
$100,000 on Dolph head.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Had Justin agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
We all going to do it together?
Yeah, they been on his way, yeah.
Was there any arrangements as far as splitting money or anything?
Yeah, me and him supposed to give him Quick 10,000 apiece.
All right, so you and him were going to give Goban 10,000 apiece?
Yeah.
And how much were you going to get?
I was getting 40, he was getting 40.
Okay. Had you spoken with Justin about this?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay. This was not something that just happened this day, but something that was in the process for weeks?
Yeah, weeks.
How did y'all hook up this day, if you remember?
He had pulled up to give you. He kind of got me or whatever.
Where did he get you from?
He got me from my father's house.
Where's your father's house?
Out of Montana.
Orange Mound area?
Yeah.
Had either you called him or he called you?
Cornelius Smith snitched on everyone, and we finally had gotten a picture of what really happened. Now we knew who was involved and why they did it. The next move for the authorities was getting Hernandez Gavon for his role and then bringing down who paid him. On August 18th, Hernandez Gavon's trial started. This trial was supposed to be a game changer in this case, as through Gavon, the prosecution could establish Big Joke's involvement and possibly even Yo Gotti's involvement in all of this. I myself was hoping for everything to come to light during the trial, also hoping that Gavon would follow Cornelius Smith's lead and snitch on Yo Gotti and CMG. But 3 days after the trial started, those hopes and dreams were over, when Hernandez Gavon was found not guilty and set free into the world. Apparently, there was a lack of evidence to convict Hernandez Gavon.
This morning, Hernandez Gavon is a free man. Gavon was the accused mastermind behind rapper Young Dolph's murder, and he was acquitted on those murder and conspiracy charges in rapper Young Dolph's death. The jury only spent about 3 hours deliberating before reaching a decision.
How do you feel?
Mr. Rohr, this is pro bono. I was unclear back. Oh, it was.
To finally have this stress taken off your shoulders.
Yeah, and have my life back.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back, you know, just from 12 people, you know. So I'm just blessed, and I'm just ready to go see my son.
What was going through your head when you were waiting for the verdict this morning?
Nervousness, you know, of course, it's natural, but I got a team around me that was very confident and supportive. So without them, it wouldn't be no me. I just want to thank again, Manny, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, Trail, Leanne, and just everybody that played a part in proving my innocence.
You heard your attorney say if you're black and poor in Memphis, this is what happens. What would be your words of advice?
Leave Memphis.
Do you plan on leaving Memphis, sir?
Of course.
Was there any point throughout the week where you're like, you know what, I'm still nervous, you know, prior to the verdict? Was there any?
Even though Cornelius Smith snitched on Gavon, since he himself was a convicted killer in this case, his word couldn't be taken as fact. Now, this not guilty verdict severely hinders the chances for Yo Gotti to ever be exposed for his obvious involvement in the hit on Young Dolph. If Hernandez Gavon was the only link between Big Juke and the other two men who were convicted for the murder of Dolph, the only evidence and proof that this hit came from CMG just got thrown out the window when Gavon walked free. Which is crazy because not only did one of the killers literally snitch on Gavon and Big Juke, but the prosecution clearly showed a relationship between all of them. For some reason, Big Juke was never investigated before his death, and Yo Gotti still hasn't been questioned.
If Cornelius Smith and Angela Arnold repeatedly told you all that Juke was the one that was calling the shots, I think even in your report you guys said Juke's the mastermind. That would cause you to go interview Juke because that's an important piece of information, right?
Doing an investigation, yes.
All right. But as a lead detective, at no point during the investigation did we attempt to talk to Juke.
We hadn't made it that far, no.
We hadn't made it that far. Okay. It's been 4 years, and we know Juke died 2.5 years after the case. We know everybody had already been indicted within a few months of the arrest taking place, but we never went to talk to Juke. Even after Cornelius and Angela repeatedly said he was the mastermind. I think that's the phrase you guys use in your Operation Cookie Monster slideshow, right?
Girl, I am going to object to this line of question. Is it relevant?
Of course it's relevant. He's a suspect. The reason I ask is these people have come in here and testified and said they're telling the truth. So if those people, they testified that they're telling the truth. They talked about Mr. Govan here, they talked about Juke, and we can quibble about who's in charge or whose house or who whatever. But clearly, Juke was a suspect in this case.
Yes.
But he was never followed up with at all by Memphis Police Department at any point in this investigation, even though he died 2.5 years later.
Not time, no.
Okay. That's it. 1 second. Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Now, with Gavon being found not guilty, they won't be able to establish the link in court between Yo Gotti and the men who killed Young Dolph. I know some people are going to say, how do I know Yo Gotti was involved? Big Juke could have done this on his own accord. While Big Juke was who's accused of putting the hit on Young Dolph, let's be honest here. We all know why Big Juke offered the hit on Young Dolph in the first place. Big Juke was obviously acting out on behalf of his younger brother, who hated Young Dolph for years. The beef between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph is well documented, but few know why they were ever beefing in the first place. No one really knows 100% what actually sparked their beef, but it was likely greed and jealousy. The reason people think these two guys started beefing traces back to when Yo Gotti wanted to sign Dolph to his CMG label. Yo Gotti essentially had a monopoly on Memphis music, and he wanted Dolph under his label. Gotti would end up offering Dolph a deal, but he refused to sign to him because he wanted to create his own label. There was also some unconfirmed rumors claiming that Young Dolph might have slept with one of Yo Gotti's girlfriends. This is what some people believe really pushed the situation to dangerous levels, as eventually, Yo Gotti and his CMG team started dissing Young Dolph. This led to disses coming from both sides, sparking the beef publicly. Not long after the diss songs, the violence came, and that's when the attempts on Dolph's life started. The first attempt was when he was ambushed inside of his bulletproof truck, with CMG associates unloading over 100 rounds into the truck with Dolph miraculously surviving the attempt. Dolph would even make a whole song dissing CMG for not taking him out. Shortly after what happened, CMG rapper Black Youngsta was arrested being accused of setting the crime up. He was eventually released as not enough evidence was found to continue the trial. After this, things only got worse as another attempt happened, this time with Dolph actually being struck but surviving. Again, this situation was attributed to the beef between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph. Even though CMG had allegedly attempted to take Dolph out twice and failed, they wouldn't give up. This is when Big Juke put the word out in the street that he was paying $100K for Dolph's head, a decision that not only cost Dolph everything, but even his own life, as just under 2 years after the hit on Dolph, Big Juke was ambushed and taken out just like Young Dolph. You can't convince me Big Juke was acting on his own accord and not under the directions of his brother. Big Juke was his older brother and wasn't a famous artist or label owner like Yo Gotti. Big Juke handled Young Dolph for his brother just in case things went south and he got caught. This way Yo Gotti, who was the moneymaker, wouldn't go down. Think about it. How else could Big Juke offer a record deal without the approval of the label owner Yo Gotti? This was clearly orchestrated by Gotti in my opinion. I honestly believe Gotti would have given Justin Johnson a deal just off the fact he got rid of Dolph. That would have been some sort of trophy for him. When Hernandez Guvon was found not guilty, Yo Gotti officially got away with murder. I wouldn't be surprised if Gotti was behind Hernandez Guvon being found not guilty in the first place. Knowing that Yo Gotti's label is under Rock Nation, I wouldn't be surprised at all. We all saw how Rock Nation seemed to manipulate the Megan Tory trial, so it wouldn't be far-fetched if Rock Nation pulls some strings to make this all go away. Honestly, that's exactly what I think happened. Yo Gotti is clearly being protected. That's why Gavon is free. They knew that if Gavon was found guilty, it could lead to an investigation into Yo Gotti too. Unfortunately, Dolph will never fully get justice for what happened to him. Those truly responsible would be allowed to walk free and do it to others. I bet Gotti feels invincible right now knowing he got away with murder. But he should remember that God sees everything, and he will definitely pay for this in the next life. Well, that's it for this video. I want to thank you all for watching.
Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Yes, I said subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. It's free. Do it for me. This your boy Music 101, the Street Reporter, and I'm back with another video. Let's get into it. Hernandez go Van, Hernandez go Von, Hernandez goddamn. When he said he was going on tour, he meant that because he making sure he stay in the algorithm. First, he went viral for making threats towards Seti Nash, challenging him to a fight and saying he'll be in LA in 4 days.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we ain't got to do this. Like, I'll be in LA soon. I'll be in Atlanta soon. Nigga, we can meet up and I'll kick the pies out your motherfucker. We ain't got to do this.
First off, a nigga beat me up, nigga. Definitely, that ain't never happened. So you definitely won't come to LA. For sure, you won't be coming to goddamn LA. Nigga, that's one thing you won't do, nigga. My city? You talking like that, bro?
Okay. We ain't got to do all this goofy. Let's just line it up, nigga. I'll be in LA in like 4 days. Where you at?
I'll be in LA, nigga, 3 days and wait for you for 5 days, nigga.
All right, so I tell you what, when I touch down, nigga, in 4 days, nigga, I'm gonna drop my low and let you know where I'm at. And I'm gonna see if your podcasting gonna pull up and stand on all this gangster shit that you talking. But the money you making on this YouTube, you need to put it on your life insurance, fuck people. Leave it like that.
You better check my profile, nigga. One thing I do is I walk through shit. Huh?
Your profile say hell of a podcaster, nigga. That's all I get from it, nigga. Ain't shit gangster about your profile, nigga. And I see you soon, nigga.
Mr. Govan, aka Quick, lied. He was in LA the next day doing the Vlad interview. To be honest, I think he was there already when he was on set. He lied. Now it's smart to be in the place you say you're not for your safety. But he had Seti on the wild goose chase. Seti jumped on the plane, landed in LA, no signs of Govan. Days later, Hernandez Govan would respond to Preeeee artist Kenny Money, reacting to him beating all charges in the Dolph case, calling him a federal informant.
See, Mr. Adam 20, Mr. Mother Adam 22, I just told you, man. I told you. I just said in the interview. They gonna see I told. I just told you, bro. Don't ask me none of this shit, man. Listen, bro. Nah, man. Federal informants, man. Niggas do what they want to do, man. Fuck them do what they want to do, bro. What you expect, man? They gonna put a nigga. What you want? That? What you think gonna happen? They gonna put him back on the street so they can go back to work, man. How you think they survive, man? How do you think a federal informant survive? How you think? They live the best life. They drive Lambos. They do what the fuck they want to do, man. Child respect, bro.
Govan responded and said, at Kenny Money, you a little boy to me. Put an address on your post next time. I still got the video when Teezy kicked your ass on the street. You want your fans to see it? I'm in Atlanta right now. Tell me where to come to. We can line it up on camera. I'll beat your little ass. Kenny Money ain't respond. So he either want no smoke or he don't want that video to come out. But right after that, Hernandez Govan posted messages from him and Stan G. And it says, was mad about the it. Hernandez Govan responded and said, Wigga, you was saying the city let y'all down because I got found not guilty. Now you begging for an interview is hilarious. Stan G responded and said, I'm not begging at all, but I do know the game. It's more to it than you think. How you think I'm the biggest in the city? Think about it. I see it different, but I can't let my people down. So he basically said, I don't think you was really guilty, but majority of my people that watch me think you guilty. So that's the narrative I'm gonna run with. And a lot of YouTubers do it because they know if they agree with the people gonna continue to support them. See over here, I bet the difference. I let y'all know all the time, it's okay that we agree to disagree. God made us all different. We all gonna have different opinions. We all came from different walks of life. Some people may see things different than others. I'm not finna say, oh yeah, I agree just because majority of my viewers feel like, oh, he guilty or he not. No, I'm gonna give y'all my opinion and then I'm gonna ask for y'all opinion. We don't have to agree. And if y'all don't want to support me because I'm not agreeing with y'all narrative, so be it. So be it. Something I seen earlier this week, it says, I don't want everybody around me. I want the right people around me. And that right there stuck in my head. Stan G will go on to send him his number and say, let's get a major bag. I don't need no interview. It's bigger than that. Wiggle you out the jam. It's not going to make sense of us putting out recordings and screenshots when we could get a boxing bag and it like that. First off, Stan G, you ain't just hearing the trial that the man is in no condition to fight nobody. He just really going on the internet and trolling like this to keep his name in the algorithm. He ain't really trying to pull up on nobody and fight nobody. You trying to beat on this man. You trying to beat this man. Definitely ain't finna up with you. Nah, you talking about a damn boxing bag? When have Govan been known for boxing, gang? Come on, man. That man went in at 332. He came out 215. You think he want to box? That man look fragile. He got to get his weight up. He got to eat good. You around that bitch drinking beer, liquor, talking about, oh, mine. Come on, gang, you tweaking. You definitely ain't finna get no business with the man. Nah, you trying to beat on him. Stan G went on to say, we not PRE or CMG, but we can eat off the energy the right way and start our own. Don't be dumb. This game is 50% real and 50% entertainment. I got to go at you hard tonight. It only makes sense. So like I said, y'all was on Seti Nash's head. Y'all feel like this was all a play. He knew that Hernandez Govan was going to come on his live. This was all planned. They had it all lined up. But Stan G is telling y'all, well, telling him, hey, let's act on this, man. It's 50% real and 50% fake. Hernandez Govan also said he was going to address this situation on his YouTube channel tonight. I checked it. He did not say or post anything as of right now. But y'all know I'm going to keep y'all updated. Get in the comments and tell me what you think. Like, comment.
They got me feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride away.
I'm gonna call Fly. I'm gonna call Whack too. This is crazy.
Yo, big guy.
Yo, Flacco.
Hey, man. Yo, what's up with you, man?
Yo, that nigga Hernandez Govan say he's gonna slap you. Yo, we on stream, by the way. We on stream. I'm watching this shit like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of times I see niggas talking shit, they be looking like they capping. This one of them niggas, I would probably de-escalate with. He look like he's a killer, bro. Or he look like he paid niggas to kill.
I'm gonna be real though, man. I'll be real though, can no nigga do all that talent in that courtroom and then act tough afterwards, man? Listen.
Wait, he told?
That nigga lawyer, man, listen, bro. That nigga lawyer, in his opening statement, his closing statement, and throughout that trial said, man, bro, why my client here, man? Why Yo Gotti not up here? Right? So, like, again, your lawyer speaks for you, homie. So, like, if your lawyer did all that telling, then I'll say you did all that telling. And if you did all that telling in a courtroom, my nigga, you can't talk tough to me, my nigga. I'm not buying that nigga. Hey, Phil, listen, bro. After that nigga beat that case, homie, that nigga was damn near crying, talking about he's leaving Memphis, changing his life out. Listen, man, these niggas are scared of jail, homie. Can't no nigga who proved to me he's terrified of going to jail, damn near shedding a tear after the not guilty, talk tough to me, nigga. I already know you scared of jail, nigga. I know your cards, homie. You feel me? And listen, one thing for sure, one thing for certain, homie. We know he guilty. We know he did it. We know them niggas gonna kill him, right? We know, listen,
Yo,
bro.
Flacco, he might catch you before you die. He might catch you before you die.
Catch me where?
He say coming to No Jumper. He doing an interview. He say want you, Whack, and Seti Nash there. And Remo.
Nigga, I run to LA, listen, bro.
Oh,
I'm the king of LA,
There we go.
Listen,
That's Big Flacco
man,
right here.
Listen.
Yeah.
Man, listen, bro. Listen, bro. Dead homies, color, blood, whatever you want to put it on, listen, bro. I done violated every tough nigga y'all think was tough on the internet, nigga. Not a nigga touched me yet, So it's Ken No, bitch ass nigga from Memphis, who was crying because he didn't go to jail, did all that telling in that courtroom, talk tough to Flacco niggas. Not listen, bro. Listen, bro.
Wait,
I
he
told
was
niggas,
crying?
bro.
He wasn't crying, though. He wasn't crying. Like, crying.
Man, listen, bro. That nigga was shedding a tear, nigga. And also, too, listen, bro. I told them bitch ass niggas, bro. Listen, y'all had a solid 2 years to get me, nigga. Back when I was broke, back when I was fucked up. You feel me? Listen, man. Ashy as fuck, short Jesus sandals. Y'all could have got me then, nigga. Right now, ain't none of you bitch ass niggas got money to me, nigga. Don't none of you niggas
talk that shit, Flacco.
Nigga. Listen, I'm being real with niggas. Don't act.
Yo,
Hey,
Flacco,
listen,
they
hey,
think
listen,
you out
bro.
here. They think you out here getting like 5 bands a month. They're not really knowing though. They're not knowing.
Man, act, man, act, bro, act, man, act. Listen, bro. I'm gonna show the niggas the dashboard. Act, bro. Act, listen, bro. Act, listen, bro. I'm a self-made millionaire off this YouTube shit, nigga. Listen, bro.
There you go. There you go.
Listen, act, listen, bro. Listen, act, listen, bro. Listen, bro. The last 14 months, nigga. There has not been a month on YouTube, like you seen it, bro, where I've made less than 50 bands, nigga. And that's light shit for YouTube. So I'm saying is this, nigga. Can no po-ass nigga, all right, who's fucking in the trenches doing hits? Listen, bro, these niggas is dirty ass niggas. Like, this nigga was, bro, doing a hit, a higher murder of the hottest rapper in his city for a 20K commission. He's a broke ass nigga. Like, he can't talk to a nigga like me, bro. It's Big Flock he talking to, nigga.
Nah,
hey, come on, bro.
Yeah, yo. He said you talked about his daughter on a video. I think his daughter got killed or something.
Man, fuck that bitch ass nigga, man. And what I said was, no, hey, listen, hey, listen up, bro. Like Whack 100 said, nigga. What I say once, I'll say twice, nigga.
There you go.
Like, fuck that bitch ass nigga. Okay, so again, what I said was, okay, his daughter got killed in Houston.
Yeah.
And again, what it felt like a back door. So what I said was, hold on, man. It felt like this nigga actions got his daughter killed. Which again, to this day, nigga, we don't know what took place. You feel me? But hey, I'll be real, my nigga, right? Again, is it out of the realm of possibility, bro, that a bitch ass nigga who did a commission for 20K and one of the hottest rappers on the planet? I'll be real, my nigga. If I was to take out Young Dolph, nigga, I need at least 150, nigga. 20,000, you a po-ass nigga. That's one. Secondly is this, my nigga, right? Again, that bitch ass nigga about to come to No Jumper, right? And tell all his business for 2,500. He po. That's one. Third is this.
Nah.
Okay?
I think you're getting 25 bands for this one. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah. Listen, nigga, it's 2,500 a plane ticket, nigga, and No Jumper ain't even offered a nigga a hot meal and cottage, nigga. The nigga is a po-ass nigga, man. But that's one thing. Secondly is this, though, again, what I said was I feel like his actions got his daughter hit up. I'm saying, nigga, at that time, his daughter got killed bro, that was in the heat of the moment, nigga. Right when Young Dog got killed, his name popping up. So again, I ain't disrespect her. You feel me? I ain't violate her, but I dare po-ass nigga to play with me, then I'll violate her. You feel me? Then I'll disrespect her. But right now, nigga, I'm gonna let the dead rest in peace. But I dare a po-ass nigga from Memphis to come to my city thinking he gonna violate. Listen, act, bro. Listen, my nigga, I promise you, nigga.
Let's make sure you move it right. Make sure you move it right, though, Flacco. Make sure you move it right. Like,
man, act.
Do not go to no cookie store. No cookie store.
Man, listen, bro. I done violated listen, bro. Every nigga y'all call tough on the internet in LA, I done violated him.
Damn.
What happened? Ain't simple podcaster, bro. Listen, bro. I tell these bitch ass niggas, bro. Listen, bro.
Let me play with you, Flacco. You gotta tell the truth, man.
Man, listen, bro. All these tough niggas, bro, come on the internet and say, man, Flacco, when I catch you, I'll die by my respect, nigga. I tell these bitch ass niggas, stupid niggas, bro, I'll kill by my respect, nigga. We not dying over this shit, nigga. I'll kill by my respect. So again, I promise you, if we in that interview, again, I'm gonna be in that interview. I promise you that. Again, if that bitch ass nigga,
yo, Flacco, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm smacking the fuck out of him, nigga. That's a fact.
Nah, Flacco, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think you're gonna be in that interview. I ain't gonna think you're gonna be in that interview. Yo,
listen.
That's a GOAT move. If you in that interview stand on business, bro.
Like, listen, bro. Listen, bro. I promise you, nigga. Unless he call out the white man and beg the white man to not include me in the interview, nigga, I'm gonna be right in that interview.
Yeah.
Popping my shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I did listen, bro. He's like what, 5'4", 160 pounds now. Acting a little nigga, bro. Listen, the nigga acts funky.
No way.
I'm smacking the fuck out the nigga, man. Come on, bro. Stop playing with me, man.
Why did he bring your name up like he got some smoke for you?
Act, bro. Listen, bro. This is why, bro. I told them bitch ass niggas too, man. You feel me? And like who left me off the top 25 media list, bro. I said, listen, man, outside of Big Act,
come on, man,
Joe Budden,
come on, man.
Can't no media nigga fuck with Flacco, bro. You feel me? And damn sure can't no West Coast media nigga fuck with Flacco, nigga. I'll be real, my nigga. All the media niggas is on Hip Hop DX. I outperform Hip Hop DX by myself, nigga. By myself. The views and metrics proves it, nigga. That's one. Right?
And why they acting like DJ Head more important than Big Flacco? What the fuck? That shit don't make no sense.
I'll be real though, Act. I'll be real though, Act. I fuck with Head, you feel me? So like, you feel me? Like I ain't gonna violate my nigga Head, but I'll be real though, bro.
Nah, you should have had his spot.
Wilson,
you should have had his spot. Numbers wise, you killing him.
Man, Act, bro, get this, bro. Head and Elliot Wilson, again, I fuck with both of them. There's no disrespect. They both on Hip Hop DX. Me by myself on my own channel do more numbers per month than Hip Hop DX. I'm saying how two niggas who's from the West Coast is on the list and my channel bigger than Hip Hop DX. That's one. But secondly, is this though. That's why the nigga is so pressed about Flacco, bro. Because bro, outside of academics and Joe Budden, nigga, can no media nigga say, yo, he bigger than Big Flock? It's not happening, nigga. Can no media nigga, bro. It get down to every nigga you want to name. Can none of them say they're bigger than me? That's a fact. Listen, I shift the culture now, nigga. So hence, that po-ass nigga, you feel me? That po-ass nigga see me popping my shit because he knows, hey, listen.
Why are you talking like you ready to crash out, though? He be sounding like, yo.
I'm going to tell you why, though, Act.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you why, though, Act. I don't know who got them niggas indicted. Again, if you go back in time, right? Back in time.
Yeah.
So when they found the white Mercedes at their crib,
yeah,
I was the first nigga to hop on YouTube and say, hold on. I know who be filming music videos at that crib, nigga. It's JoJo Splat and Straight Drop. Straight Drop was arrested for the murder. And then once Straight Drop got arrested, that's when the pieces fell. So he blaming me for them bitch ass niggas getting indicted, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Bro, listen, my nigga. I've been a tough rat, nigga. I'm the toughest rat out here, nigga. I don't give a fuck about telling, snitching. Bro, I want them niggas in jail. So again, he mad because he know I'm the reason why.
If he come to No Jump, are you gonna call the police before you show up, or you gonna stand on business like no police? Like, I think I would call the police because he looked like he down to like bring some killers with him. Because like I think he paid them niggas $1,500 for the murder, even though he promised like 30 bands. Like he might.
Not 800. Nah, $800 he paid them niggas $800 for the murder. Man, Act, bro, listen, bro. Man, Act, bro, listen, my nigga. Street niggas are stupid, right? So again, Act, these niggas got backward morals, right? Again, I will smack this nigga. If he gets froggy, I'll pop at him. And then the minute he pop back, nigga, I'll rat on his bitch ass, and then his stupid ass gonna say, I can't tell the police he shot at me first because that's snitching. These niggas is retarded, but we gonna exploit these bitch ass niggas, bro. Again, can no nigga talk tough on the internet and stand in front of me, Act? I done proved the nigga. Any nigga any nigga you done heard, my nigga, on the internet, nigga, speak about Flacco. They been in my same city, Act.
Hey, by the way, do you think Seti Nash was a little bit scared, or do you think like nobody's scared of this nigga, man?
I'll be real, man. Again, Seti, my brother, you feel me? And like he big 6-0. So I'm gonna tell Seti this, okay? Yeah. So Seti Nash don't got the advantage I got. You know why, Act?
Ooh. Yeah, well, with this Seti Nash, he brought Woody to the West Coast, and they loved him over there.
Exactly, but here's why Seti Nash don't got the advantage I got, bro. Bro, Seti Nash is a gangbanger. Gangbangers are stupid. They play by stupid rules. So hence, Seti gotta play by the rules, meaning this, okay? That nigga probably gonna feel comfortable if he backdoor Seti, you feel me? A bag on Seti head, you feel me? A pop at Seti, knowing that all Seti can do is try to play the rules. These niggas don't play with me because they know my nigga. My pistol work, nigga. I'll pop at you and tell on you. All these niggas is terrified of me. That's a fact.
Wait, you got your license out there in Cali?
Nigga, yeah. Yo, Act, remember Act, listen, also too, Act, listen. I'll be real, Act, when I came to see you, nigga.
Yeah.
And when you walk in the door, nigga, and pull that big shit out your drawers and put it on the table, nigga, and say, yeah,
I'm licensed to carry. I'm licensed to carry. You're right. I told you about that.
Man, I'll be real, my nigga. Listen.
Every day somebody tell me they gonna kill me, I'm mad paranoid. I make sure I keep a loaded weapon on me. I like my Zev, but sometimes you might catch me with a Glock 19 on me. You know what I mean? Today might be a Beretta day, but listen, you always got to keep some. Again, every day when I check my DMs, I hear 50 niggas tell me how they're gonna kill me, so I just don't know. But yeah, so you say you protected out there though. I'm glad I hear that. Okay.
Man, act. Listen, bro. I finally know what them bitch ass niggas feel like, homie. Bro, I remember don't act like, bro, like as kids they always say, right? Listen, as kids they always say, act, man, when you finally get a gun, you feel like a superhero. I'll be real, act. Man, listen, bro, when that shit touch my hand, my nigga, I feel invincible, my nigga. These bitch ass niggas can play with me. I'll be real, my nigga. Listen, man, bro, listen, bro, I'll be real, my nigga. I've been a gangbanger. Feel me? Listen, my nigga. Listen, act. I'll be real, bro. I've been banging one deuce, which is 12, nigga. I'm police. But I'll be real, even with one deuce, nigga, I felt protected. I ain't never feel this tough in my life, nigga. I'll be real, and then act, listen, bro, I ain't never feel this tough. I ain't never feel this invincible, nigga. These bitch-ass niggas don't want to play with me now. Act, you know why, my nigga?
Yeah.
You know why, bro?
Yeah. Well,
act.
Yo.
Act, listen, my nigga.
Suppose he come to No Jumper. I hear it, No Jumper. You can't bring it in there. So now he's in there with you, and he's like, yo, him and his Memphis goons, they ready to squabble. And they say, yo, if you act up and leave the spot, we gonna do you like Sauce Walker.
Who can bring act? Listen, my nigga. Again, Adam, my nigga, bro. Again, Adam, my nigga, bro. I fuck with Adam, bro. But that white man know not to play with me, my nigga. You feel me, bro? Listen, bro. Adam can't tell me, nigga, don't bring your piece in this shit. Listen, again, Adam, my brother, I fuck with him, bro. But Adam know he can't play with my dad. Listen, bro. Listen, Adam cannot prevent me from bringing my gun in that building, nigga. If that nigga make a threat to me online and he wants me next to him doing an interview, nigga, Adam can't tell me, hey, come and do this interview with this nigga who just threatened you, but don't bring your gun. I'll be real, my nigga. Listen, act. Listen, I'll be real, my nigga. Dog, I might go viral, nigga. Hey, listen, bro. I walk in that bitch, nigga. Listen, I walk in that bitch, nigga, pull out my drawers, nigga, you feel me? And put it on the table, nigga, and tell that bitch ass nigga make your move. I bet you he won't move, nigga.
Yeah, he probably looking at it like, you know, he from Memphis. He got a couple niggas knocked off. He might be like, yo, who else Flacco? He's like, yo, we'll have a Flacco blunt in a minute. Like, he might be thinking like, yo, he could have it his way.
Man, fam. Hey, act, listen, yo, bro, I'm act. Listen, on the photo. Listen, bro. I have to run now, but hey, listen, nigga, bro, act. I'm coming September 11th, nigga. Let's lock in.
All right, bet. Text me.
All right, man. Peace out.
All right. Damn, Flacco on his goon shit now. Yo, let me tell you this, man. Anytime I'm gonna give y'all good advice, chat. I'm gonna give y'all a good advice. This is real talk. I've had my gun license now for a minute. Y'all know I have about over $200,000 in guns. I have a lot of weapons. You know, now it's like when I go out and I have a weapon on me, like I'm not thinking about it as much. When I first got my gun license, honestly, I was thinking about it a lot. And that was like one of the first things on my mind. And the reason is when, especially you're somebody who, you know, you're not from that life where you used to be toting a gun or something like that. When the moment when you get a gun, I hear what Flacco is saying. I just hope you can't take it to heart, though. You can't take it to your head. Like, you got to realize you only have a gun because you're playing defense. You're not getting a gun to feel tough. You ain't getting a gun to push up on niggas. You getting a gun that, again, you know, I've always thought about weapons like this. I have weapons at my house, not because I think that I'm motherfucking like John Wick. Listen, if somebody's trying to break in my house, I'm gonna call the police, and I hope I never get in a situation, but I hope I could create 5 minutes. It takes about 5 minutes. Well, probably less than that in my neighborhood. It takes about 5 minutes for police to respond. I just want to buy myself 5 minutes. That's it. I'm not saying I'm gonna kill everybody. I'm gonna bury them over there. You just want to gotta calm it down. But yeah, Flacco just got look like Flacco got his strap on him now. You might have to pistol whip a nigga at no jumper. Right now, Flacco's on bad time. You got to give Flacco 6 months. Give Flacco 6 months that he could cool down with his weapon. But right now, like you heard him. He's like, yo, man, I'm what?
Go for it. Follow me.